Divine Collective. First, I want to say Ashe to the ancestors. All praise due to the Most High. It's pretty early in Eastern Standard Time, 2:35 a.m. And I woke up out of my sleep. I've been kind of troubled in my sleep state lately. I've been feeling the urgency from spirit. As I try to calm myself and I try to process it all, I can't really, sometimes when I go, they get with spirit or I go into my meditative state, the messages I've been, they haven't been coming through and the same type of energy. It's like an urgency. So I've been writing some things down, and I pray that, as a divine collective, you all can receive them. I know on yesterday, a brother from the tribe reached out for a reading, and it was an amazing reading. And I noticed when bro reached out, in his reading, without giving too much information, because readings are strictly confidential. My relationship with spirit is one of integrity. So when I tap into people's energy, I keep it a secret. However, spirit does give me permission to reveal certain inserts that it may encourage someone else. And I want to encourage you, Soul Tribe, to stay away from karmic readings. Stay away from readers who really not putting forth an effort, striving with spirit, tapping into the demonic, that can't see beyond the veil. People that really are not in true high priestess energy. I would advise you to stay away from them. Like, guard your energy at this time. And please don't follow the leading of general collective messages. The reason why I say don't follow collective messages, like a lot of people, you go to YouTube and you get a lot of your life's information from YouTube. And I'm not knocking YouTube. I'm actually there too. And they're full of readers with integrity that are on YouTube. But I want to explain to you the spirit that's at work. It's a trickster spirit at work. It's like a lot of people work with an energy known as Burn 70. And that's a very tricky energy. A lot of people work with a lot of different deities, but I've been feeling the energy of the burn lately. So what happens with these malignant energies and these readings, when a reader picks up on a story or an energy of a person, and it's like any one of us, right? We live life as divine beings, and oftentimes it's a lot of different ups and downs. And when readers pick up on this type of information, karmic readers, they have a tendency to go public with it. Their numbers go up because we are a collective. We share many different struggles. We actually share a lot of the same thoughts because we are a collective energy. So when karmics get a hold of a story, they put it out on the World Wide Web, and other karmics begin to lay their cards down and they tap right into the same story, but they read it wrong because they really not gifted. They're pretty much reading a story that Spirit is putting forth and really not being able to read. So therefore, when you're dealing with readings and you're dealing with your life, be careful with those types of things. Because a lot of us in the collective, we find ourselves following karmic energies. We tapping into karmic readers. If you know that you're not balanced enough to really discern what's going on, find yourself one reader, tap in with that reader. Let that reader be your guide. I'm not saying that tarot doesn't help, because it does help. But it's according to the reader. Like, there's a lot of readers, y'all, and they really don't have integrity. A lot of people are initiated the wrong way into their gifts. Meaning, if you are born and you are a person who's gifted, you still have to find that part of yourself. We're not born in this avatar with that knowledge. And then it's so many people that don't know themselves. Like, you have people that have gifts that are dark and gifts that are light. But a light and a dark gift, they from a similar source of energy and power, right? It's metaphysical stuff. But I say that to say, everybody reading cards are not going to guide you into the light aspect of anything. Some people are purely dark. Allow your soul to know and resonate, right? And move your mind. Because, you know, you have to know your soul. And it goes with a download I had. Before religion, there existed only spirituality and the energy of spirituality. We are multi-dimensional beings. Past, present you, present you, future you, they mesh together. This is ascension energy, right? Now, I'm speaking about the knowledge of your soul. In order for you to obtain it fully, you have to put yourself in a place where you become multi-dimensional. You understand the future you, the past you, and the present you. And as you begin to line those energies up in your life, the ancestors, they give you the energy of your Akashic record. They make it available to you. But you have to show yourself worthy of this type of knowledge. It's knowledge of the soul. Your soul has a mind. The Akashic records, they are the knowledge of your soul's mind. Your soul knows many things. Your soul knows who it is. Even when you don't know who you are, your soul knows who you are. See, because a lot of times we born into this earthly existence in many different situations and many different karmas. Sometimes we born into karma that's so thick it prevents us from the knowledge of who we truly are. So we begin to live life with this karmic value attached to us because we really don't know or understand who we are. So we move in this avatar. For instance, you could be an earth angel, but your life could be very hard, or it could have been very hard. You could be the most misunderstood person, but yet and still you have this resonancy with the Most High that you don't even understand. Because it could be that you are earth angel, but you don't really know your soul. So your soul is trying in so many ways to remind you of who you are, to get you to wake up to who you are. But us not being trained to understand that, it becomes a grand obstacle. When you particularly, when you are a true earth angel, you get these, let me explain to you the energy of an earth angel. Violent urges, right? Being messy and clumsy. Oftentimes, this is the energy of an earth angel. You know why a lot of earth angels are very clumsy and very messy, very misunderstood? Because you have an energy that's so big, it's always trying to spill out of you. And because you really don't know who you are, you can't really hold it. So you have a tendency to move quick, knock things over. You multitask, you think a lot always because it's always an energy present. So it's about finding the balance. Right. This for any energy that exists. You have people that are reptilians. You have people that are directly related to the Pleiades, the Anunnakis. Right. Many of us directly correlate with the energy of Egypt. See, Egypt are our true ancestors. When they speak of pantheons, giants, orishas, luau, giant people, the first doctrine that consists of this energy and this history, or her story, because the earth is the history of Ka, or this planet, Earth as we know it, is one of femininity. So it wouldn't be his story at all. It would be her story. And the true story of the earth is that we are directly correlated with many different things that we walk around in this avatar and don't reflect. Draconians, different things like that. These are people who are reptilian of the soul. Though they walk around in human form, if you could strip them of this existence, you will find exactly what they are. And this is why we have to be careful, because we are so trained to look at life through this eye that we literally miss what's really present at the moment. We miss it due to lack of understanding. So when it comes to divination, y'all, and it comes to readings, it's not so easy to be unaware and not suffer vital consequence, because you're dealing with the spirit, right? Meaning, let's say you are an earth angel and you out here compromising your divinity because you putting your faith in karmic readers. When these readers tap into your energy, the cards tell them who you are. Once a person realizes that you are very ranked, or you have a lightness about you, if they already committed to the darkness, what do you think that's going to lead you at? They are going to be incapable of supporting you because they are your direct enemy. You see, a light worker and a karmic, they don't have a positive relationship. Less than a karmic is trying to ascend. That's the only relationship that a karmic and a light worker can share, is that of ascension and transition. If they're not doing that, really not a lot. It's becoming increasingly harder to stand and resist spirituality without moving into your own devil's energy. This goes for all of us. It doesn't matter how you were raised. If you find yourself like this kind of energy, somebody say grand rising, and you like, oh boy, I don't deal with all of that. Or somebody whip out something of a spiritual nature, and you getting the energy of, oh, I don't do all that. I don't do. You could be moving right into devil's energy. It's harder to resist spirituality now without moving into this energy of accusation. Let me ask you a question. When you deal with people and you're trying to get guidance, do you pay attention to how you feel in your soul, or do you go with what you processing in your mind? For instance, when a person tells you something that seems strange to you, or something that may not resonate with the way you were raised, pay attention to what your soul is saying. Is that really helping you, or is it not? Because a lot of times we resist things that God send us because we really don't know what it looked like. We don't really even know how to receive the energy of God. So we go into the energy of resistance, accusation. As the ancestors push forth towards our conscious, because this is about raising the elevated, it's about elevating the conscious level of a whole conscious body of people, a collective body. It's about raising that conscious level. So if we're going to raise the conscious level of the collective, we're going to have to embrace spirituality. We're going to have to say, it's things about life that I don't know. We're going to have to begin to say, everything ain't the devil. We're going to have to begin to understand that being godly is not all about a shiny white angle of anything. Being godly is understanding one's true nature, the true nature of oneself, which breeds duality. I don't care who you are. You have an angel and a devil, and your mentality, and your struggle, and in your rhythm. And if anybody is convincing you that they are purely light, that is definitely the biggest demon. There's only one type of energy that can bear the illusion of pure lightness, and that's evil. Light comes with a consummate duality. It's within the knowing of light energy. How can Christ save the wicked? The energy of Christ, lesson he walked through Jericho. See, when you look in the energy of the Bible, Christ was always moving through Jericho. Jericho was the worst hood. Born in Bethlehem, right? Another worse hood. See, where he was from is the darkness. So you have to begin to look at light and darkness in a proper perspective. Lesson, you're going to be condemned. Anything that's posing as pure lightness is the biggest devil's energy, because the appearance of pure lightness is an illusion. There is no energetic field that is balanced through divinity that's not balanced with the duality of light and darkness. That's the way that true light is composed. When something looking, that's almost like how the Bible describes the energy of Lucifer and how Lucifer looks. The epitome of beauty, yet a male. A beautiful man made partially instrument, right? Reflecting glass crystals of all type of. This is a beautiful. Now, if you could really see Lucifer, or the energy that is describing in the spirit, the charm would kind of render you defenseless due to the beauty. See the image that comes out of that? Now, That's supposed to be the epitome of evil. That's telling you right there, tribe. Things that come to us bear the sheer illusion of lightness, stay away from it. You want things to come to you that have an educated balance, where you can see nothing is nothing on is no energy worth investing to that's showing you pure lightness or pure darkness. You need a balance. I'm gonna jump into some tarot. I feel spirit is moving me to lay some cards out. The world is becoming a very wise place. So it's time for us to wisen up. Queen of Wands. So this could be a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries card. Warmth, passion, enthusiasm, determination, adaptable, steady force, independence. You can always call on your natural confidence. So with this Queen of Wands energy laying on the board, that's a good collective energy to be feeling this late. Somebody could have a cat. Somebody could actually like sunflowers. I'm hearing the name Maria, Elizabeth, Coley, Charmaine, Rollo, Derek, Kenny, Dre, Terrence, Robert could be significant, Mary, Kiana, Adana, Deontay, Cassandra, Cassie, Heather, Bethany. I have a Queen of Wands to the Star in reverse. Unfulfilled hopes, disappointment, pessimism, doubt, and despair. So this could be an Aquarius in this energy. So I'm saying kind of like the Sun in reverse, unhappiness, negativity, failure, loneliness, need for reflection. So I'm feeling like this is the energy of opposition. So the Queen of Wands, I feel like, you could be faced with a lot of opposing malignant energies. These major arcanas in reverse, they kind of symbolize entities. Entities that you may be confronted with. Let's see if I can get a full spread out. So to the Queen of Wands, I'm saying, like I said, this is a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. Could be significant in this reading. But I'm saying you in the energy of defense against major oppositions. It could be an Aquarius and it could be another fire sign. And very much standing against you, allowing themselves to be under the influence of the demonic even. There's a need for you to be in the energy of defense, to defend. Everything is working out, but there's a need for you to hold your defenses. Like sometimes, Queen of Wands, when you're dealing with the aspect of manifesting or change or giving up a habit or trying to move on, immediately your most powerful adversaries, they rise up from a spiritual place. You begin to fight things that you didn't even know were in your life. And that's why I'm saying this, see this Leo, it could be a Leo, you know, the ones, it's a need for you to defend. It's a need for you to be willing to face the challenges that lie ahead of you with the understanding that you're going to be okay and you're going to make it through. Because no matter how we look at it, y'all, we're going to be confronted with challenges. Life is full of obstacles. Nevertheless, when you're dealing with the Nine of Cups in this energy, it says, the Spirit saying, hold on and fight, because everything is working out. It's moving at the pace of the divine. And one thing we had never ever comprehend collective is divine timing. Oftentimes we want things in our time. And you know, it's wild because I remember like being around people, y'all, and I wanted to change so bad because I wanted to be what people wanted me to be. You know, I wanted to be accepted as a person that could be with the group or be what everybody else in the group was being. And I was trying to attain a level of relationship with divinity. And you know, I couldn't get it right for so many years, to the point where as though many people, they begin to give up on me. They begin to say, well, it's been years, man, you know, he ain't gonna. But lo and behold, the divine was working in my favor, because it's always separation when you're dealing with elevation. There is really no elevation unless a separation occurs. So in my life per se, the things that I was trying to attain, even from God, they were being denied. And it was because of what I was attached to. See, what I was allowing myself to be a part of was preventing God from allowing my gifts to be open. My clairs and my intuition, they were blocked under heavy spell work, root work, Santa Maria magic. All kinds of things were coming at me. And none of these things were ever meant or had the strength to destroy me, child of the divine. But they created delays and blockages in my life, and oftentimes I didn't know where they were coming from. I'm like, man, what's going on? I know. So I even began to give up on myself, y'all. I began to surrender my soul. I began to look at life and say, well, I might as well do the wicked that I see everybody else prospering with. And it was just this energetic field in me, y'all, that wouldn't allow me. Even things I wanted to do, I couldn't do them. Spirit wouldn't allow me to move into certain energetic fields. And I wanted to, y'all. It was times where, man, and you may be feeling this too, Queen of Wands, fire energy. You know how you see people in your circumference do evil and they be good, they prosper and all that. And you know you probably good at it. And then you know, it's like you contemplate like, man, I'm gonna do what they doing done. But then when you truly of the divine, Spirit send a warning through the wind or something. And you feel it, like, nah, I better not. I don't know, I just better not. Little did you know, you allowing that energy to stop you, it was all a plan. It was all what the divine was using to elevate you. Because if you are in the energy of wanting to follow the crowd, it's impossible to be in a position of elevation. You got to break away from all of that. You know, when you're ready to elevate, when you feel alone, when you know you alone, and I'm not talking about being by yourself. You can very much be with a counterpart, but y'all seeing eye to eye away from everybody else. That kind of energy. When you get to the place where God has separated you from what's holding you up, and placed your feet on solid ground, so to speak. Once you get to that place right there, then you ready for elevation. Because see, in that place, you feel your frailty. You feel the proper infirmity in life. You understand how small you are, right? And then most importantly, you can look back, right? It don't matter how good they appear to be faring in life. The ones who you once looked to be like, the ones who you contemplated about doing the same things that they were doing, when you look back from the energy of being ready to elevate, you quickly can see they ain't banking on nothing. I made the right decision. That's when you embrace hardship and you embrace struggle with the knowledge that this is building me, not breaking me. What I was doing was breaking me. I'm going to tell you something about wealth. You got two men in this scenario. You got one man, and he calls many shots. Oftentimes sitting, laying down, he eat a lot, he drink a lot. And he calls a lot of shots, and he generates a lot of money, right? And he considers himself wealthy. Then you have another man, not so good in the financial department, but this man wakes up every morning, sets his feet in nature, he runs, right? He builds himself, pays attention to what he's eating, his mind. Now in the 3D, one would appear to be wealthy. That's just the way we see it. And we lie if we tell it, and we lie if we tell ourselves. Look at the ones that we consider wealthy. And look at the things that we devalue. See, we'll look at a man that get up and run, but he ain't got no money, but he focused on a different type of issue in life. He could be the wealthy one. The other one could be the poor one. See, it's not about the money that's generated or the things attached to it. It's about the balance. It's an old ancient proverb. I believe it's in, it could be the Kabbalah. I'm not sure. It could be the Kama Sutra. But nevertheless, it goes something to this effect. Many people sacrifice their health to gain wealth in life. Overtime, hours, overworking yourself. But then what happens with that type of person is they end up in their latter day spending all that wealth to try to buy their health back. See how that works? That's not understanding what was wealthy all along. If I'm moving through life and I'm abusing myself and I'm doing everything to abuse my life, but it's giving me money, it's not making me wealthy, it's making me poor. Now, if I'm doing everything in life, and if I'm doing things in life, and I have a balance, my mind is able to reach newer levels. I'm able to ascend into my higher. That's the wealthiest person that you can become in this day and age, is to allow yourself the availability to ascend into your higher conscious. Six of Wands in reverse, pride of riches, delay, fear, apprehension, doubt, ignored. I was pretty much just speaking about this. This is about the energy of the pride of riches, whereas though many of us, right, and I'm feeling this energy, so I'm speaking upon it. We can't help but to look at whatever we look at. Social media presence, social media platforms, influence, otherwise. We look at everything, and a lot of us want what everybody else got. Let's just be perfectly honest. We want the things that we see, they look well, they fascinate us, and we oftentimes, we want what we become fascinated with. We become actually what we are fascinated by. So, could it be that we preoccupied and fascinated with a lot of things that are mere illusions? Six of Wands in reverse. These are things that the ancestors do not hold in high honor about us. This is what they're saying, right? This is my ancestral deck. So could it be that we prefixed on illusions? We looking at things different. Could it be that's why we run to get readings from unconscious readers? Could it be that's why we sift through YouTube so much and find ourselves trapped in so many different intervals because we moving without discernment? Six of Wands in reverse. It's not honorable. If you're serious about your life and your spirituality, right? And you're serious about going in the right way, why are you trying to predicate your moves upon statements from general readings? These are general readings that people are laying down through the zodiac channels. It's big business now, y'all. It generates numbers and views. But what is it doing for your soul, though? See, when you're dealing with this spirituality, you want the Six of Wands upright in your life. You want to be held in high honors. How you do that is taking your time, paying attention to what truly resonates. Stop running from what's going to build you. You know, it's to the point where as though tarot reading has become such a trendy and oftentimes foolish thing. Do you know that this is supposed to be sacred? This is sacred. See, what I'm doing right now, you can feel sacred energy coming from me because I hold it to that. No, I'm not jumping on saying what everybody else saying. I'm not tapping into the same popular energy or the malignant spirits that lie with these stories that the readers tap into. They tapping into lying spirits, spirits of divination, malignant energies. That's what happened when you pick up these cards and you're not initiated to do that. Yeah, you're going to go in the spirit with the wrong kind of energy, and then you're going to begin to mislead folk. So what happens? Overall, the Six of Wands go in reverse because the ancestors, they become unpleased. Many of us, they're watching like a lot of us. Star seeds, generational curse breakers, earth angels, and ancestors are watching us ascend into spirituality and then run to YouTube to get a bunch of karmic readings. I'm not knocking YouTube. I'm knocking your discernment, though. If you're going to fool around there, I'm there a lot. I check out a lot of different things. Got a few particular tribe members that I like to actually read, you know. Sometimes they able to offer insight on Shopman's arm, y'all. But when you become a person that, okay, they telling me this, thank you, Spirit. Let's say you had a reader, and this could be a lot of y'all's energy. You had a reader, and they were guiding you, and they were helping you. But then it got to a place where you had a fallout with the reader because they begin to see in your shadow, and they begin to read your shadow, so you fell away from the channel like, oh, I don't want to hear that. So I'm going to just go find another reader. So then you go tap into another reader, and they picking up on the energy, and they got big numbers because they telling big lies. So here you are amongst, and I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of it. Here you go. You and the one that got the most numbers with the most karmic energies in the comments. And now you want to be a part of that. When God blessed you to be linked to a reader that was helping you through your ascension, then you cut them off because they said something you don't like. All of that kind of energy is Six of Wands in reverse. The ancestors are not pleased when we act like that. We have to be able to swallow that pill, y'all. The hard one. The one that tells you about you. When spirit is saying you a shitball, when spirit is saying you the wrong one, when spirit is saying you the one that needed to make a change, you the one that need to make an adjustment. We run from that because we want the feel good message that comes from the karmic, that's putting us further in karmic debt, that's taking us further away from our purpose, that's misleading us further away from our ancestors. Those kind of energies. Six of Wands in reverse. I feel that spirit and the ancestors are displeased with the way that we run and cling to any old thing without discernment. It helps a lot of us, but you have to allow yourself to be grounded. Yeah, if you're going to be sifting and going through different readings, know your ranking, know where you stand, know your purpose, and know why you there. Because you do have many psychic investigators that sift through YouTube, and they do it for the purpose of investigating. That's that energy. But you have literally forlorn people surrounded by disembodied souls and energies, and they allow these things that lead them to Facebook, YouTube, well, Facebook too, and YouTube and Instagram, and you're linking up with readers who are karmic, and they are pushing you. Like, for instance, let's say you out here and you working, but the work that you do is bringing harm to others, okay? You don't want the reader that's going to tell you, okay, I see you working, that's good. Why? That's encouraging you to keep doing your food. You want the reader that's going to say, whatever you're doing, you need to stop. Six of Wands in reverse. That's what you need. See, a lot of us want that. We want to be wrong, and we want somebody that's going to give us a word from spirit that make us feel godly in our wrong. God forbid. It ain't about that. Ace of Wands. Take action on your ideas. You know what I'm saying? The ancestors are saying, a lot of you are moving towards spirituality and you don't want to do nothing. Well, I want you to know, in the community of spiritualists, we are doing things, y'all. Like, what makes you think you can jump into your spirituality without doing a spiritual cleanse or a cord-severing cleanse? That's what's holding a lot of y'all up. I'm gonna be honest with you. You have things in your energy that's clinging to you. And although you may not think about them, and although you may think that you're over them, these things rest in your energy until you can remove them spiritually. And they drain you from a point of you not even knowing. I was telling somebody, the laws of karma suggest that we can't exist in two places at one time. So let me break this down for you. If you have a person in your energy and they don't let go of you, and they over here and they speaking of you, right? The minute you respond, you exist there, not where you headed. And you can't exist in two places at one time. This is why it's so important to wipe people out of your energy and sever them from you. So that you can really see, because, thank you, Spirit, as long as somebody in your energy and they haven't been removed, it has the ability to make you move right back into existence with them. You know how? Give you a scenario. The one you broke up with, you moved away, you're doing well. Don't hear from them, don't think about them. Everything is great. You headed towards your north node. Lo and behold, this energy begins to call people in your life, or say things in your life, because they're sending energy, right? Eventually, this energy will reach your energetic field through thought, through word, through phone call. It's going to reach you because it's part of their manifesting power. So in many ways, people begin to manifest you this way. When do you become manifested? When the energy reaches you, if you're not truly separated, you will respond. With a thought in your sleep state, you may accept something from the person. You may get a call from somebody else about the person, and you may respond to that, and that puts you back in existence. See, it's so many tedious things that cause us to exist in that place. That blocks us from existing in the future place. See, you can't exist both ways. So you have to do a cleanse and a severing cleanse. Bah! You cut the cord spiritually. That way, they not grabbing a hold to you spiritually where you can't see it. And it breeds a fortification to you. So that way, when that energy that you severed from begin to send things that way, it's already sanctioned. It's already been blocked. You already put your ancestors in play because your intentions, you intentionally severed yourself from it. It's like the ancestors said, oh, you heard what they said. And the universe said, this person intentionally took a bath and severed themselves from you. You're done. Therefore, you can't come back. Universe, raise your frequency above it. That's the way to respond to things, yo. Ace of Wands. Raise your frequency to a lot of things Spirit is saying. Thank you, Spirit. Many of these things don't require a response anyhow. Raise your frequency as to not exist in two places at one time. Because I'll be damned, y'all, if I'm going to allow anything to cause me to exist and take away from me headed towards my north node. Not going to happen. It just won't happen. Why? Ace of Wands. I'm going to make sure it don't happen. That's why. As you should. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Frivolity, setback, poverty, dissipation, bad faith, danger, winning rewards without work. And see, this speaks of the mindset. This is speaking of the mentality. A lot of us, we have the mindset of poverty, and we are unaware that we have this energy upon us. See, a lot of us think that poverty is to be without money. You know what the poverty mind state is? To actually be cool with seeing others without. That's what poverty, that's the spirit of poverty. See, in our natural state, y'all, before all of this came into play, we worked in such unison about life. When you look at the monoliths and you look at different structures that we played a part in building, all of these required the energy of harmony, togetherness. I mean, living. People had to live, rest, and eat together, right? So nobody was really cool with seeing anybody without, because they knew that created the energy of poverty, right? Imagine how, I'm from an environment, y'all, where I've seen people laying on the ground, hurt, and people stepping over them. A bunch of people in the mind state of poverty. See, poverty makes us cool with seeing each other down. Oftentimes even ridicule one another. See, we don't have an understanding that I'm so connected to that man that non-ether beings, we share a collective energy so much so that if I laugh at that man, it puts me in the energy of the demonic. Now I share that karma. I share his fate simply by doing that. Why? Because I put myself in the energy that got him there laughing at him. Poverty. It's a spirit. You ever notice when you look at neighborhoods stricken by poverty, What's one of the first rules of thumb? Mind your business. Mind your own impoverished business. Right? Why? We are trained. It's an evasive spirit. It comes right in and settles on communities. People walk past one another and don't care whether they got a drink of water or a bite to eat or anything. People steal from one another. Right? Imagine a man got 2 cups of sugar and a man got no cups of sugar, right? And the man that have no cups of sugar feels the need to steal from the man that got 2 cups of sugar, because the man with 2 cups of sugar surely won't give him 1. The spirit of poverty. You see how that happens? The man with 2 cups should be willing to give 1 up. And the man without no cups should be willing to receive. But because the energy is off, one feels the need to steal from the other. It's the energy of poverty, y'all. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Setbacks and frivolities. We get so frivolous. Spirituality is about being able to not live inside of your designer clothes. Not being so attached to things that you can't give them away to the benefit of other people. Right? But frivolity is as it is. It's an energy that is very minute when you think about it. Some of the frivolous things that we do, now they giving me scenarios, so I could be just tapping into your energy. There are many of us who live with way more than we need. Our storehouses, they run over. We have more than we can imagine. And we look at ourselves having so much, and we don't even allow the day to give away anything. Frivolous. We walk around with more than we need. Knowledge, finances. We have way more than we need to be comfortable. Yet, we become preoccupied with living in it. I'm talking about we hold things daily and become afraid to depart with them. And many of these things mean nothing. Like, take for instance, the woman, my feminines. You got shoes, right? Many different shoes, many different articles of clothing. Yet, you give away, but let's just say you got 10 pairs of shoes and they all your favorite shoes. So you ain't gonna give them away. 10 pairs now. I feel Spirit want you to understand a great energy to be in is give away 5 of them from your best 10 pairs. Give away 5, right? You also create the energy of a great blessing by departing with that thing. Learning how to depart with things, it takes us out the frivolous nature of just being frivolous. Like, I mean, really being in an energy where the things that matter don't really matter. Like, I want you to think about it. You only can wear one pair of shoes at a time. So holding on to, and this is about life in general, when you have things that suit you nice, learn how to give away your best. I promise you. Learn how to give your best away. Because that kind of energy, that's authentic. That creates blessing and opportunity. Not giving somebody out the bag you was about to throw in the goodwill anyway. It ain't no energy in that. If anything, you can create karma doing that kind of thing. When you give, Learn how to give from the place where it hurt. That's Nine of Pentacles, upright. Learn how to understand. I got 1, 2, 3, and I'm about to give. Learn how to be a person to say, I'm going to give my number 1. That's my favorite too, but I'm going to give it. You know why? Man, thank you, Spirit. They telling me, when you learn how to give from your number 1, imagine the energy that the person who received it, imagine what they feel when they know you gave up your number 1 for them. You gave your best call. Even if it was for a few days. Yeah, sis, I know you ride down. I got 2 of them here. Take my best ride, right? I'm going to take this one. That kind of energy right there, you make people grab hold of a different faith, a different hope. Sometimes people walked on so bad, y'all, because nobody ever gives them from the energy of their number 1. There's so many souls that are forlorn, and all they need is somebody to give them something from the energy of their number 1. Imagine that, man. For my masculines. Imagine this. You know, your man come and give you a fresh pair of J's that just came out. You know he bought them. He in the J's. He like them and all of that. This a guy that normally he give you shoes and stuff, but they be old. You know what I'm saying? Now imagine this same energy come up one day and say, "Here, bro," and you open the box and they the J's that just came out last week. That reaction on a minute scale, you're gonna be like, "Bro, for me, man." And you know what you gonna do when you walk away? You gonna really be in a positive energy of like, I wonder why he gave me these. He a real. That makes you feel good to receive from someone's number 1 source. Not they bottom tier, but the top of the pot. Give from there. Wanting rewards without work. I feel that energy. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. You don't want to pray. You got deities that you run with. You don't give them offering. You don't give them proper sacrifice. You don't want to move towards anything. But you want the reward. It doesn't come like that. Spirit, you have to have good faith. When you're dealing with spirit, it's a need to have good, healthy faith. Good faith. Knowing that, because good faith understands that you have to work. Bad faith is faith without works, is dead. We need good faith and we need to be willing to work, y'all. You gotta do something. Two of Cups in reverse, imbalance, tension, folly, waste, dissipation, disunion, silly action, rejection, separation. So they giving me the word infidelities. So you could be out here committing infidelities, but I'm also really feeling the energy of the collective putting up with the infidelities of others. It's not a prerequisite for spirituality. Learn how to cut them off. Separation. Because infidelities, they place us at risk. Particularly when we link up and we become spiritual I'm going to tell you why infidelities become more risky when you step into spirituality. You're already being hunted by spirits, all of us. We already have spiritual opposition. They hunt us down. That's life. Get used to it. Now, when I decide to step into my ranking in spirituality, wake up to who I am, with new levels, they come new devils, right? So this is where infidelity becomes very detrimental. When people go out here and lay down with other energies, or jump into bed with other energies, or go into cahoots with other energies, it puts us at a spiritually vulnerable place. And believe me, the big major's coming for us. So it's not an energy to play with. When you ascend into your higher conscious, you need to learn how to cut off them Two of Cups relationships, toxic endeavors, full of risky business, people laying around with other people, you going for it and you accepting it. You got to dismiss that, because the devil is out for your life now like never before. Why? You ascended. So it's not the same old game. It's not the same playing field. So therefore, you can't afford to deal with infidelities from others. You have to deal with the energy of loyalty consistent in order for you to grow right. See, if you link to something and it has a nature of infidelity, you gotta let it go. And that's just simple as that. I don't care who it is and who you with. You can't work with that. And Spirit is telling me to lay it out like, you can work with a lot of things. Particularly if you, but infidelity, Spirit is saying, is not the time to try to work with that energy. Because that energy is full of spirits that are trying to assassinate you in your life, unalive you, straight up and down. That's that energy. So when people go out here and link with other people and bring those ties back to the relationship, just know when you ascend, they bringing back a stronger force than before you were ascended, because you reached a newer level. So they're going to come back in a house with a whole new type of devil with them. And you're going to have to contend with that energy. Why? Because you're putting up with infidelities. And Spirit is saying, don't. And that's real rap. Don't do it. Many things, Spirit says, we can tolerate, but the energy of infidelity is too costly. See, Spirit want me to lay it out. You have STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, and sexually transmitted demons. And in in some instances, they are forever on both ends. Some sexually transmitted demons, they come with the force that can subjugate you to the demonic. Whereas though you trapped now, you begin to owe so much to that force because you working with it. Is that real in spirituality, y'all? And not to mention the STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. Imagine you trying to ascend into a higher conscious and God has given you a healthy body to do so. But yet and still, you putting up with a person who sleep committing infidelities. And you in union with that. Now what happens when they bring you something back and it's a disease and it anchors into your immune system? Then what happens? Then you have no one to blame but yourself. So do away with the infidelities. We can work with many energies that don't. Spirit is saying that's a warning. Right? Judgment card. Answering the call to action creates new opportunities. This is Archangel Michael as well. Actually, I see Gabriel on here with the horn. But nevertheless, what I want y'all to understand is when the judgment falls in a reading, right, fire energy, Pluto. This is spirit saying the energy for you to fall in line is there. All right. The Justice Arcana is also a powerful ancestral protector. So when I see this card coming out, I'm screaming to you that it's much hope, it's much defense, it's much protection around you, whoever this is resonating with. Is there with the Judgment card. But it also requires work, y'all. Like, many of us don't ever get the sense of, don't have a sense of entitlement to anything. Just know that you supposed to be working, awakening, purpose, reckoning, self-assessment, atonement, and rejuvenation. You know, this is the energy to get on up. I'm hearing James Brown. Get on up. So it's like a call has went out around the whole world. Ancestors are present. The divine is calling us home. It's great judgment being executed in that energy. So it's time for us to really embrace the arcana of judgment, right? These are the ancestors coming through basically saying, what needs to be right is going to be righted. What's wrong, don't worry about it. The arcana of judgment is here. So you have to really learn how to not look at life as you see it on the 3D. Because the things that you think in the 3D, if you're not working with the energy of the judgment is upon me, I'm moving in the energy with the judgment, I'm coherent. I'm coherent and I'm consistent with this energy. When you move with that energy, many things going to appear to be wrong and things going to appear to be out of place, because that's an illusion of the enemy. The enemy has to do that. The enemy has to distort our vision with fragments, y'all. Fragmentation, I'm going to say, on a supernatural level. Because we get trapped in life, like for instance, let's say you wake up tomorrow and you realize I overspent, or I don't have, or I need to get, right? The enemy is sending energy of, yeah, you ain't got, because you dealing with spirituality now. That's the reason why. See, the enemy begins to fight us with fragmentation, where the enemy begins to remind us that things are different with you and harder for you because of your spirituality, right? It's not the case at all. When you give over to that, understand you fight evil on another level. When you ascend into a higher form of consciousness, that's you telling the universe, okay, I'm ready for my spiritual inheritance. Well, that's the demon that's bigger waking up saying, okay, they at the next level. We got to send in another demon now because they elevated. We got to go. So what's happening, thank you, Spirit, we beginning to fight demons on levels that we're not familiar with. So that's what we need to really resonate with, the judgment. Because see, these evil, malignant energies, they have been gifted with the energy of illusion to cast false illusions. That's all that they can do. They do that very well. They make this world look like such a place that's unrecognizable at times that if you get caught up in the energy of your 3D sight, man, you will miss so many opportunities, because our existence is predicated upon the fact that we know who we are in the 5D. We know who we are in the 5D, right? It's to the point where as though when you begin to look at life with a 5D resignation, you can easily see who love you, see who hate you, but have the discipline to move accordingly. When you allow your resignation from the 5D As above, so below. You have to start seeing yourself in that above state. Even with your manifestations, you're manifesting something. The devil making it look like it's not coming through in the 3D and it's never going to happen. But yet and still, the ancestors and the divine, they send you signs from the 5D. The more you embrace your 5D concept, the more you can see this shit on the 3D is an illusion. They playing with me. Period. And you won't be in. If you really do it sincerely, they can't look at you and say, oh, you're going crazy or not. Why? Because the divine is going to back you and support you. That's what it's really about, y'all. The judgment is here. That's a major arcana. So the ancestors are basically saying, it don't matter what it look like. All it really matters is what it is. And this what it is. The judgment is favoring the collective. So it's time to come up out of those energies of feeling trapped and restricted and weak. All that's an illusion, y'all. The judgment favors the collective. Six of Swords in reverse, stuck, unwanted proposals, unaccepted offers, lack of empathy. And see, this could kind of be the energy of the collective not willing to forgive. It's causing delays, right? And when we move in the energy of unforgiveness, we always face with a lot of unwanted proposals. Why? Because people want to test you. They're gonna wanna prod at you, right? So you not forgiving, not being in the energy of forgiveness, is causing you to lack. It's causing us to lack and be at a stalemate and be stuck. In order to really progress, it's about forgiving. That leads us to stiller waters, right? It leads us to empathy. And we are able to accept offers, right? When the universe is posed to give you something, posed, right? In a position to reward you with something, we block it. Because sometimes it requires empathy to reach it. You understand me? The universe releases an energy because we raised our frequency. But in order to grip it, it could be requiring empathy. We could have a lack of it. See, the energy of forgiveness, I oftentimes say that when you put forth that energy, it goes to heaven and it grabs what it needs and it brings it back. Forgiveness is a very powerful energy. So I feel like Spirit is saying the fact that we are in Six of Swords in reverse, we lack in empathy. We have to truly begin to embrace the energy of forgiveness and realize and understand it. Because forgiveness is not an outward expression, y'all. In its most potent form. The energy of true forgiveness begins with self and then comes out. See, before I go and ask somebody, can you forgive me? First of all, I need to be able to understand that I need to ask for forgiveness for myself. Ask that you be forgiven. Ask that you have the energy to forgive yourself for whatever the situation may be. Establish the energy of forgiveness that you may hold it. See, you can feel it then. And then you can give it all because you done nurtured it. You done brought it within. You done grab. See, too many of us, we try to offer forgiveness from a vague place. What you gonna do? Grab the energy of forgiveness from God and just hand it to somebody? You ain't even run it through yourself first. You gotta run that thing through you before you can give it to them so that it can fit them. See, when you truly offer the energy of forgiveness that's coming from the right place, somebody can rest in it. When you offer it wrong, they have a tendency to reject it. The soul knows. Think about somebody that, they come to you and be like, can you forgive me? And you know they don't mean it. Right? As opposed to the person that they ain't even say a word, but you can tell that you need to forgive them because they already forgave themselves. They gonna move in a certain way. Forgiveness, y'all. It moves us on to stiller waters. Last card before I get out of here. 4 Wands in reverse. Tension, turbulence, anxious, unprepared, hurried, and insecure. So I'm feeling like overall in the collective, it's a need to just relax. It's a need to relax. Don't be headed nowhere fast. You're not going to learn everything at once. You're not going to feel everything at once. You're not going to know everything at once. It's not about that. And when we try to have all these theologies in our mind, y'all, it becomes like high explosives. Then you have bombs going off in your mind. It's not about that. It's about taking the little that you have and making a solid foundation out that thing. Whatever your faith system is, whatever you believe in, begin to learn from there. It's too many of us trying to learn what everybody else knows. Let me tell you something. Spirit is available to teach in many ways. And the biggest understanding is that it's all energy. Begin to familiarize yourself with the concept of everything is energy. That way you won't be in such a rush to know everything and know all across the... It's not about that. It's about mastering what you know, Eight of Pentacles. Master what you've been given. Create a sound foundation out of that. After you create a sound foundation out of what you have, then you can expound upon it and gain more. And the divine will make more available to you. But a lot of things, they won't become available to us because we have too much turbulence, tension. We're too anxious. Then we want things and we're not prepared to get them. Imagine this. You say, I want a bag of money, right? And a man say, well, can you carry the bag of money I got for you? And you say, sure. Because all you thinking about is the money. You want money. I want a bag of money. And the man say, well, I got a bag of money for you. But the only prerequisite to this bag of money is that you got to be able to carry the money in order for you to take this bag now. And you say, well, all right, I want the bag, right? You haven't thought about how much it could possibly weigh or anything. Because we so temporal-minded, all you thinking is that any bag of money I get, I'm sure I can carry it. I only want a bag. But then lo and behold, a man brings you out a bag of money that weighs 500 pounds. And you can't have it because you can't move it. Why? Because you was unprepared for it. Make sure that we are prepared for the things that we ask the divine for. It's nothing like a blessing coming that you unprepared for. That's like a person getting $1 million, but have no knowledge of investing, have no knowledge of who their true friends are, full of insecurities, and materialistic. Where you think the $1 million gonna go? They not prepared to receive that. So let's put ourselves in a position where we're prepared. 4 Wands upright. I just plucked that card. It must have fell back in the deck. 5 of Swords. Sometimes the victory is not worth the price. So I feel that Spirit is saying, choose your battles wisely. Don't think that just because you got 2 seconds of spirituality, you can beat every demon. Or think because God has given you revelation, now you got the ability to just jump out there and contend with everything, create conflict, be aggressive. Spirit saying it can lead to self-sabotage. 5 of Swords. The weapons of your warfare should not be carnal, but they should be spiritual, like it says in Corinthians, right? Learn how to not fight with the same swords that the enemy. This is the Five of Swords card. So if somebody's fighting you with certain type of weapons, choose your weaponry wisely. Assimilated to when David slew Goliath, many offered him a weapon before he went into the battle. His brothers offered him shields and sword, armor. All of that he threw to the side because he wanted a weapon that was proven by the divine. It happened to be a slingshot and a rock. Took down a giant, right? Now, that's the same way with us. When you're reaching for your weapons of warfare, make sure that they've been approved by the divine. Because you could be, with the swords, right? You could be picking up the phone when you need to get a black obsidian rock, leave the phone off, and let the rock resonate in your existence. You understand me? Like, learn how to fight with spiritual weaponry. Every time that phone rings, it don't require you to start talking. You're losing the battle. You're fighting with the wrong swords. If the enemy fighting with a sword that's been tried and proven by the enemy, why would you fight with the same sword that's been tried and proven by that enemy? You want to get a sword that's tried and proven by the divine. So learn how to focus on knowing your enemy and knowing yourself. We war not against flesh and blood, but principality, spiritual wickedness, and high places. Okay? So stop trying to fight these spirits with your words and with your energy. Stop it. Those are the wrong swords. Learn the value of crystals. Learn the value of stones. Somebody, clean your home and the floors. Use salt. Line all the corners of your home with salt. You know, in the areas in your corner where it's dirt, I feel somebody in your house, you got dirt in the corners. There's a lot of negative energy trapped there. Get some bleach or some cleaner, clean the floors in the corners and lay salt right there. Or little black obsidian chips. They good to make energetic fields around your home. Keep negativity out. That's how you fight battles. Not sitting in your home, allowing it to gather negative energy, and then picking up your phone and speaking negativity more. You're losing the battle that way. Spirit says Five of Swords, energy, conflict. Last card. Knight of Swords. You are strong, energetic, and ready to take on the world. Now, with that being said, the Knight of Swords energy moves in the battle. Sometimes he forgets his helmet. Sometimes he moves fast and forgets to sharpen his sword. So, in this Knight of Swords energy, as you're moving about, remember to remember the details. Ambitious, yes. Progression, yes. But be calculative, competitive, right? Be scientific, skilled, brave, even clever. But don't be naive. Understand that where you're headed, it requires you to grow up, to grow into maturity. You can't grow spiritually and be reaching back into your immature bag. Spirit is not consistent with that behavior. In order for you to really emerge into your higher self, where spirit is pleased as well as the ancestors, you have to be willing to sacrifice the immature part of yourself. See, the laws of alchemy says that in order for us to receive something from the universe, we have to be willing to offer the universe something of equal value. Begin to offer those parts of yourself. They're very valuable. Because when you offer them to the universe can offer you something new. That was your reading. I hope that it resonated. God bless you all.